Hello everybody, this is Lois Friend and you are Stamping with a Friend. Today is Monday, May 25th, 2026, and I'm going to be showing you the cards that we made in our May class. We featured in the class a couple of different sets, but we primarily featured the Aflutter bundle and the springtime scenes. And I used other pieces and parts of other sets as I normally do, but these are the main sets we used. And this is a new bundle that is in the brand new catalog, and the springtime scenes dies. It is still available. It was in our last catalog, but it is now online. So we're going to get started with this first card. And in this card, we're using the Eyelet Blooms die. It was the April product of the month, and but it is still available while supplies last. And I'm sorry I've got shadows. I'm recording in a different room. My craft room is kind of a mess right now. I'm doing some organizing and moving some things around, and there's no clean surface, so I'm in another room and I've got a lot of light in here and I'm trying to get rid of the shadows, but I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to do that. So anyway, one of the things that I do want to show you on this die is the best way to get a good clean image, because there are a lot. You can see there's a lot of pieces and parts. So I've figured out, after trial and error and watching some other gals do the videos, I'm going to place this upside down on my mat and then put a piece of just wax paper. Yeah, it is wax paper out of my kitchen, just a box of wax paper. And I'm going to run this through. And I made this cardstock just a little bit bigger than what I needed, because you'll see there are some pieces and that kind of get rough edges and that need to be trimmed off. So that's why I made it just a little bit bigger than it needs to be. And I'm going to run it through a couple of times. Move this. Why don't I move that out of the camera range? Make somebody dizzy doing that. And I'm going to run it back through a couple of times. There is a lot of intricate little portions. So I ran it back and forth, I don't know, 2 or 3 times. And then I'm going to take it off the die, but I'm going to leave the wax paper on, and I did discover that it does work better if you leave the wax paper on until you get it all. I don't know why that is, but through trial and error, we figured out that that works best. Use my little punch tool here, picky tool. Okay, I think I've got most of it. And you can see, like I was saying, there's like some rough edges, and that can be cut off. Now I went ahead and prepared another piece that I'll use for my project, so that you're not sitting watching me pick all that out. All right. Attach that to the front. I didn't trim it down quite enough, so. You can see this edge didn't go through because it was a little bit bigger. So it didn't do that die cut. And I want that to be just about I thought I had cut that. All right, now we'll glue this to the front. Today is Memorial Day. We're celebrating Memorial Day, and I don't know what area you all are from, but well, it has rained and rained and rained this weekend. So, yeah, I didn't check my glue here, and it's a little plugged up there. All right. And we'll attach that to the front of the card. Sorry, I'm trying to get my angle right with the camera and the shadows. All right. All right, now we are to stamp, and this is a color blue that I'm using is our brand new Hydrangea Hue, which is fast becoming a favorite of so many. And going to stamp somewhere in the middle. This says fluttering by to say hi, and we need this little flight pattern here. Okay, and I'm going to glue that down on this. This color is Petal Pink, and I've been using that a lot lately. It was sort of one of those that was in my stash, and I really didn't use it too much, but recently I've been using it a lot. Okay, now I'm going to glue that to the front of the card, and yes, I know I made it bigger for a reason, and I want to layer this on the front. Whoops. That's why I like glue. It's a little bit more forgiving. There. I think I got it even. All right. And I'm just going to glue that diagonal. And then I'll trim that off. right. Fluttering by to say hi. The theme for the month was it's all about the butterflies. And as I mentioned, I'm using the All Aflutter bundle. And need some butterflies. Okay, again, that's the hydrangea hue. Now, one of the things we learned, or I learned recently while I was having class, is if you stamp that on cardstock, then cut that corner down. That seemed to be where we had the most luck of getting it in the punch properly. Sometimes it takes just trimming it just a little bit. Trim. Oops. There we go. All right. Now we're going to make our butterflies shimmer a little bit. We're going to add some Wink of Stella. And that just adds just a little bit of shimmer. Okay, now we can put those on with either glue or dimensionals. I'm going to use dimensionals. Oops. Okay, now when I like to put a white layer inside my cards that have color. So I'm going to I stamped a few extra butterflies, and again I'm going to use the hydrangea hue for the inside of my card. I'm sorry. And just put down, for these I'm going to glue them flat. Okay, and then that goes on the inside of the card. And there is card number 1, fluttering by to say hi. Okay, easy peasy, right? Okay, for the next card, we're using the Springtime Scene dies and stamps. And there's the dies and the stamps. love this dye. Okay, now for the top layer, we are using Basic Beige, and this is Lost Lagoon. And for the Basic Beige, we are going to run it through the Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder. And again, I'm not going to put that on camera. I'm just going to roll it through my emboss machine. And you can see the design. This is a favorite of mine. And the Lost Lagoon. And this goes on top. I'll go ahead and put that on. Okay, now for all intents and purposes, I went ahead and die cut this from the Springtime Scene dies. There are some really pretty dies with this set. And again, you can attach with glue or tape runner or dimensionals. Okay. Now, using and this is another die from that set that I'm going to stamp the sentiment. It says, "You brighten my day." And this is Pretty Peacock that I'm using, ink. And I like to take the dauber, my dauber, and go around the edges just a little bit. I don't know, it just kind of adds a little something. Doesn't take a lot. Softens the edges and sort of, I don't know, it sort of like makes it all go together, blend together. All the colors. I'm kind of a matchy-matchy kind of person, and I kind of like to do that. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and attach those, the sentiment, with dimensionals. And I've already gone ahead and die cut some of the flowers. And again, these flowers are from that set, the Springtime dies. This is Calypso Coral. And here are the centers. They are they can be used as flowers on their own, but I like them for the centers. Okay. I'll glue the centers down. Got a little excess glue on that. Okay, and then I have some leaves. These are the pretty peacock leaves. And I'll put and add a leaf. And you can attach with dimensionals. That would look great. And you can also, some of my card makers were making these flowers curl a little bit. I'm really sorry about the shadows. I've got to get my lighting a little bit better. And I'll put that down there. And it's just a little bit of glue to the leaf. Get that there. That there. Oops. All right, now to get those colors, I'm going to take just a little bit of crisp cantaloupe and color these rhinestones. And that's what I love about our alcohol blends. If you have a plain colored embellishment and you want it to match, just color it with our alcohol blends and everything matches up. While that dries, I'm going to lay that aside. And while that dries, I need some butterflies. And on this, what I'm going to do is using our new basic black hybrid ink, meaning with the hybrid means you can use with Stays On or the Memento. Now I will say it does stain the stamp, but that's just a well-loved stamp, right? Stamp it in black, makes a nice image. I think I will do that. I don't think I had it all inked up. Try it again. Just turn it over and try again. There, much better. Okay, now I'm going to, again, trim off the corner. I want those colored. So I'm going to use the alcohol marker. Color that in. Now there is a stamp with that you can use if you don't have the alcohol marker. It is a stamp that you can you can ink it and fill it in. You could do that too if you want. Okay. Should have let that dry just a little bit, but it'll be okay. Okay, now this has dried, so I'm going to add the gems to the center flowers. Whoops, took it with me. Okay. And again, I'm going to add some Wink of Stella to the butterflies. Yeah, definitely should have let that dry a little bit, that black dry a little bit. But it'll be okay. Can you see the sparkle? Okay. Oops. Be careful not to cover up your words. Okay. Now for the inside, I'm going to, I'm just going to stamp. And I'm going to let that dry just a little bit, and then when it's dry, I will color it. That's what it'll look like when it's all done. Okay, another very, very easy card, but it looks like you've spent hours on it, doesn't it? Very easy. Okay, now card number 3. This product is something that when I went to on stage back in March of 2025, they introduced that, and I got really, really excited about it. Bought it right away, and then never used it. So I'm going to show you quickly what it is that I'm talking about. It is still online. It's not in the current catalog, but it is online. You can buy it online. It's Extraordinary Flora, I believe is the name of it. And this is washi tape. You've all heard of washi tape. This is a different take on washi tape. And they have several. There's a green one. I can't remember if it's in the catalog. And there's one coming out. Now, I should have cut that the cardstock just a little bit wider, but it'll be fine. And that's just plain cardstock on the back. And then there is a die that goes with it. And it's not hard. It's once you figure out the placement, then you will just run that through the machine. And you just lining it up. Oops. And I forgot to bring my tape. I'm going to get my tape. I use some removable tape so that it stays in place a little bit better. And run that through. And you have your own ephemera. Is that not cool? I love this stuff. And like I said, I was really excited about it when I was on stage and bought it and then never really used it. And then this we're not going to waste this. Let's see. There we go. It's just a matter of placement. And I've seen our online exclusives that are coming out in July, and there's a new washi tape, and it's all about summer. It's really cute. It's got, I think, sunglasses, and it's really cute. And see, I wasted none of that. It can be all used for various projects. And I have a little box here that I think it's a soap box that I got from Dollar Tree or someplace. It holds a travel bar of soap. And I just keep that in there. And then when I need something, it's all ready to go. So now we're going to do the card, now that I've showed you how to do this. Okay, this is embossed. Oops. Embossed with the Stone and Vine 3D embossing folder. And I love embossing folders. I have said from the get-go, when I first had my first embossing folder, that if I had to only use one product, it would be an embossing folder. I think it just absolutely just sets a card apart by using that. It's elegant. Okay. Whoops, that's just a little bit big. I need to trim that down just a hair. I had my class 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. It's almost time for class again. And I had my class, and as I mentioned before, my craft room is kind of a mess because I'm doing some painting and getting another room that I can use for my craft projects. Actually, I believe at this point in time, I'm going to set it up more like an office. But I've been painting, and everything had to come out of that room. So it's all sitting in my craft room, which adjoins that room. So I had to move everything, my class and everything, to my dining room. And everything has kind of sat because I got very busy after class. So it's been sitting on my countertop in my kitchen, and when I went to move it this morning to my dining room table, I had everything everywhere, and I had to kind of relearn what I was doing. Okay, this is a die that was cut from the Springtime Scenes, and if I can find my stamp. I know it was, oh, here it is. And I'm going to stamp congratulations on the center. And this is a new in color. I kind of messed that up a little bit. Don't think I have another one of those cut. This color is Golden Glow. Sorry, had to think a bit about it for a minute. All right. I am going to cut a new one of those. With these, it doesn't work as well by turning it over because you somehow it looks different. So I'm going to cut a new one of those and see if I can't do a little bit better. I kind of watched it. Okay, try this again. I think there was lint or something on the stamp. All right, try this again. Oh, much better. All right, now pop that up with some dimensionals. And I use all of what's on. I cut it all and use it all the edges, everything. All right, put that on the center. And then I'm going to select some of the pretties that I die cut. And if you do get any rough edges or anything, you just trim them off. And let's add to, yeah, there we go. And how about or we could make these a little bit different and go more with the purple. That works. Let's do that. Just put that. And again, use, does anybody else use it all? I don't see any reason to waste it. So I trim those dimensionals. I use every piece of it. Okay. Add that. And okay. Now, I did mention this month it's all about the butterflies. So these are some of our in-color butterfly embellishments, and they are absolutely adorable. In fact, they've sold out, and I think maybe they're back available again now. We'll use some of the green ones. Not green, it's the new in color, and it won't come to me right offhand with the new in. It's pine. pine something, I think. Does it say on the back of it? No. But it's a green. It's a real pretty green. And I'll do another little one. And there you go. Card number 3. And I've used these ephemera on several cards. I've made a couple of birthday cards where I used this same embossing folder, and I used our everyday arches, and then I just added some of the washi tape ephemera. I've had a lot of fun with that. So okay, there is the cards that we made today. Very, very easy. And I will put the dimensions and all of the items and directions in the comments. You should be able to find them down in underneath the video. Okay, I think that's everything. I hope you all have a great rest of the holiday weekend, and we remember those who gave it all. They gave it all. It's sometimes it's mind-boggling when I think that how many have given their life so that we could be free here in this country. And I think with that said, I think that's everything, and I will be back soon with the June cards. I can't believe it's going to be June already, but the calendar says it is. So I thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and would like to order any of the supplies that I used today, please contact me. This is my online store, loisfriend.stampinup.net, and I can help you with anything that you're looking for, I believe. So have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.